Hi everybody, and welcome again to ZCodeSystem. Here we develop automated systems to help you win big. It doesn't matter what sport you're betting on, we've got you covered. We're going to get into some Major League Baseball action for April the 6th. Before we do, I'm going to invite you to join. You'll have access to the VIP club section. Again, you see all these tools across the top and all the tools throughout as we look at the games to help you make your picks. Okay, so it's a pretty full slate of games for Sunday, which would be the last game in most cases of a 3-game weekend series. So we're going to take a look at 5 of those games. And the first one we're going to take a look at is probably the game of the day, which is the Los Angeles Dodgers at Philadelphia to face the Phillies. Both teams are burning hot. The Phillies come in first in the NL East with a 5-1 record, and the Dodgers are on top in the NL West with a perfect 8-0 record. You can see that both teams are burning hot. The pitching matchup is Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers and Christopher Sanchez for the Phillies. You see that Glasnow has been a better bet overall at plus 45 in the pitcher profit oscillator versus minus 67 for Christopher Sanchez. Both pitchers did well in their first starts. Glasnow with a 0 ERA, he came away with a win. Sanchez with a no decision, and he had a 1.69 ERA. You can see that the teams are trending in games on opposite sides of the line. The Dodgers mostly over the line, the Phillies mostly under the line. The score prediction is for the Dodgers to win this one by a 6-4 score, and the confidence is very high at almost 91%. If we look at the power ranks indicator, the Dodgers up here at the top at plus 28, and the Phillies have been stable over the last few days at plus 24. Let's take a look at the volatility oscillator, the consistency factor. We can see that right now both teams are consistently performing regarding their favorite underdog status, with the Dodgers at plus 9 and the Phillies at plus 7. The other thing we want to take a look at is the scoring differential edge, and both teams are very positive in that regard, with the Dodgers holding a plus 22 to plus 16 edge in that department. So here's the thing with this game. I don't think that the Phillies will get swept in this series. I think the Dodgers win the series 2-1, so it's all going to come down to where they're at. If the Dodgers win the first 2 games of the series, I go for the Phillies to avoid the sweep. Other than that, I like the Dodgers in a game over the line. Okay, next one we want to look at is the New York Yankees and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Yankees come in average up, winning their last game at 4-2 over the last 6, and the Pirates are ice cold up, coming off of a win, snapping a 4-game losing streak, and they're 2-4. The pitching matchup is Will Warren for the Yankees and Andrew Heaney for the Pirates. If you look at this, neither team has been particularly good as far as pitcher profit goes. You see that the Warren is minus $75 and Heaney is minus 200 at the moment. If we look at the score prediction, it's 6-5 in favor of the Pirates. Confidence in the prediction is still rather low at only 53%. But if you look at the over-under, you can see a lot of green overs for the Yankees, and if you look at the Pirates side, 5 out of their 6 games have been under the line. So I tend to avoid the over-under bet in those situations, but let's take a look at a few more things first. On the power ranks indicator, you see that the Yankees at plus 21 and the Pirates at plus 17. Both teams on the upward trend as well in that category. The scoring differential edge is plus 21 to plus 17 in favor of, plus 21 to minus 12 in favor of the Yankees. If we look at the volatility oscillator, the consistency factor, you can see that the Yankees have been very unstable so far this year, and that doesn't mean they're playing poorly. It just means that with regard to their favorite underdog status, they've been inconsistent, while the Pirates have been much more consistent at plus 5. So in the end, though, I like this to be a Yankees win, probably by at least 3 runs. Okay, the next one we want to look at is, scroll down through a full list of games. Of course, you can take a look at any one of these games as you like. I'm just highlighting the ones I feel like are the best matchups for the day. And you can see here, scrolling down through, the Padres and the Cubs. Here we go with the Padres. Probably a surprise team in the league so far at 7-0, coming in burning hot, and the Cubs coming in average down 3-3 over their last 6. Kyle Hart is scheduled to pitch for the Padres versus Ben Brown for the Cubs. If you take a look at what they've done so far this year, Hart is 1-0 with a 3.60 ERA, and Brown is 1-1, and his ERA has been rather high at 5.87. Both teams are in the positive, though, in pitcher profit, with Brown actually having a slight edge there, plus 87 to plus $74. If you take a look at the over-under, the teams have been trending in games over the line, and the score prediction is 8-2, so a pretty wide margin of victory for the Padres if this prediction holds true. The confidence of the prediction is still not really that high, though. It's only 60%. I took a look at the power ranks. The Padres up at plus 29, and the Cubs are at plus 12. Scoring differential is plus 25 to plus 14 in favor of the Padres. And let's take a look at how stable the two teams have been thus far this season. It's early on, so this is going to change a lot over the course of a long season. But for now, Cubs have been relatively consistent at plus 3. And you look at the Padres, they've been very consistent as of late. They were down here at plus 1, or actually down 0, and they have climbed over the last 4 days to plus 4. So in the end, I think this is going to be a Padres win in a game over the line. Tampa Bay and Texas. Here's an interesting matchup with the Rays coming in 4-2 over the last 6. Average stats coming off of a loss, and Texas is 5-1 over the last 6, and they're burning hot coming off of 2 straight wins. Pitching matchup is Kumar Rocker for the Rangers and Drew Rasmussen for the Rays. You can see Rocker not good so far this season, 0-1 with an 18 ERA, and Rasmussen 1-0, and he has not given up a run. And you see neither pitcher has been particularly stable with regard, not stable, but has been particularly effective and have been minus 100 and minus 46, the pitcher profit oscillator. If you look at the total streaks, a bunch of red here, which means under the line, and that has been the case here for both teams in 5 out of their last 6. The score prediction is a rather high score considering that the teams are trending under the line, 10-4 in favor of Texas, but again, the confidence in the prediction is quite low at only 51%. The power ranks indicator show the teams going in opposite directions. Texas was at plus 10, climbing up to plus 23, while Tampa Bay was plus 24, and they've dipped down to plus 13. The only other thing we want to look at here in this game is the scoring differential edge, and that is plus 12 to minus 7 in favor of the Rays. One other thing is the volatility oscillator. And you can see here the more consistent team so far has been Tampa Bay at plus 7. And you see the Rangers are at 0. And the highest they have been all year is so far in the early going is at plus 1. So what do I think about the final prediction? In the end, I think this is going to be a game for the Rays because the pitching matchup favors them. And I like them by about 2 runs in a lower scoring game under the line. Okay, we have one more we want to look at here, and that is going to be, we scroll down through, the Cardinals and the Red Sox. The Cardinals come in average up, so do the Red Sox. The Red Sox, after losing their first 4, coming off of 2 wins, and the Cardinals, after losing their previous 2, are coming off a win and 4-2 over the last 6. Pitching matchup, Miles Mikolas for the Cardinals versus Sean Newcomb for the Red Sox. You can see Newcomb with a 9 ERA and 0-1. And Mikolas 3.38 ERA. Both pitchers have been not profitable. You can see in the red, minus 100 for Mikolas and minus 200 for Newcomb. And you can look at the scoring streak, the over-under. Over the last 3 games, you can say that the teams have been trending over the line. But over the last 6 games, they are trending on opposite sides of the line. Okay, so if you look here at the power ranks indicator, you can see here the upward trend for both teams. Boston was at 0. Look at that back just a couple of days ago, and they skyrocketed up to plus 18. While the Cardinals were at plus 8 just a couple of days ago, and they have skyrocketed up to plus 20. If we take a look at the score prediction, it's 5-3 in favor of Boston, but the scoring confidence in this prediction is really low at only 33.7%, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to take a look at the stability factor, which is the volatility oscillator, and you can see here that Boston is more consistent at plus 3, and the Cardinals are at minus 1, and they haven't been above 0 all season long so far in the early going. Another thing we're going to look at is the scoring differential edge, which is in favor of the Cardinals at plus 17 to plus 2. So in the end, I like the Cardinals to come away with a road win, but I'm going to take a pass on the over-under bet. Okay, so there you go. There you have it for the Major League Baseball predictions for the first time this season for games on April the 6th. Happy betting and see you next time.